When I was 3 years old, I ran away from preschool. Yes. Leila, let me see yours. Leila.
Oh my God.
What? Wow. Mike was asking. Guys, they're drawing. I did a little ridiculous baby sketch. It's actually a picture of Ava.
It's a portrait.
It's a portrait of Ava, and we got back what?
Pablo Picasso.
Whoa, guys! I'm impressed.
I'm not saying that they got it from me, but my name is Pablo.
What year?
Technically. Look
What
at them, Ava.
year?
And this level of drawing is definitely my level. So if
Well,
I
I
were
think
to
we
draw,
can agree with.
if
We
I
can
were to
agree.
draw- if I were to draw a baby, that is probably how it would look. So for now, this is my lineage of artistry, right? So, but man, I'm really impressed. They're actually doing really good.
Yeah. So, guys, we're gonna do some lessons today, okay? And drawing is definitely on the list of things we're gonna do today. So they've asked me to draw Daddy. That's Daddy right there. And this is what we've got so far. Show me what you have there. This is mustache?
Yes.
All right, and these are Daddy's eyes?
Yes.
Okay, and this is the body. And the arms. His arms are kind of coming out of his face. Okay. And Zosa, you're gonna do yours now? All right, let's see it. Okay. It's orange on one end and black on the other end. You want a color like that too, Leila? All right, Zaza, so let's draw now. So look on the board. That's Daddy there.
That is Mommy there.
Mommy not there yet. We soon draw Mommy. But let's focus first on yours. Okay. It's too low. You need more space. You're gonna need more space at the bottom for the legs. Use the other end. Use this end. Use the black part. Oh, Zahra, come. Let's draw it. Whoa. All right.
That's Daddy.
That's Daddy. Yes, sirree. So you're gonna put in his ears? Let me see. Put in his ears. Brilliant. Okay, how about his little mustache? What's that?
Chocolate with the mustache.
The mustache goes here. The mustache goes over his mouth. Okay, fair enough.
Mustache.
All right, so Lily, you're drawing the mustache. Let's turn it around here to see what you're seeing. Daddy looks like Hitler. Oh, wow, okay. You're putting in some hair. Great job. All right, so, okay. So we're gonna have to draw up here, all right? So we're gonna start up here with his head, right? And then we can put his body here.
That's not my daddy.
And some arms, okay?
My daddy. That's not my daddy.
That's not your daddy? Alright, so Leila, rub out. See if you can. That brilliant. Brilliant. Just brilliant. Man. Another set of artists born in this house. What's up, guys? Hello, neighbors. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Whatever time it is in your neck of the woods. Howdy. So today, I have another story to tell you guys. This one was triggered by Leila and Zahra's, little drawing this morning. Now, if you hear some funny noises, like somebody is, screaming, that's just my next door neighbor's goats. Yes, my neighbor has goats, a whole herd of goats. So don't be alarmed. Nobody's dying. So when I was 3 years old, I ran away from preschool. Yeah, you must be thinking, what kind of a childhood did she have? Man, she must have been some bad picnic. Let me explain. So I lived in a community called Portmore. I grew up in that community, and Portmore, for those of you who don't know, is a dormitory community. So basically in the 1970s, the government decided to develop this community for persons who were working in Kingston and were having trouble finding affordable housing. So basically it was supposed to handle the spillover. This community was basically built up with working class families, and my family was one of those. And back when I was growing up, there still were not that many services available in Portmore, including educational services, schools. And so my parents enrolled me in a community basic school when I was 3. Now I can still remember the morning when my mom dressed me up and packed me up with my little lunchbox and my backpack, and walked me to this school. This little basic school, or I guess in America you would call it, it would be a preschool. Some countries they would refer to it as a kindergarten, and it would be, I guess, an infant school in some other countries, but it was a private institution that was run by a member of the community, right? It was not a government school. So I remember arriving at this house, because that is what it was. The school was held on the outside of a person's home. And, I was all hyped up about going to school and everything. And I went in the morning and I just felt nervous. There I was walking up to this gate, and there was somebody at the gate, a gentleman at the gate, and they pulled the gate, and my mother was there with me for a while, and I eventually settled in. But where the classroom was, I remember that there were these little desks and chairs set up on what would be basically the veranda of this house. And there were some other classrooms toward the back, in the backyard, in a covered area of this house. So my classroom, I think, in my mother's recollection of it is that my classroom was at the back, but my recollection was that I actually sat on the veranda, which was basically facing the street. So I had just been settling into this school for a few weeks, and I remember the teacher drawing something on the board. I think it was the lady who actually operated this basic school who was teaching me. she was teaching us the letters of the alphabet, and on this particular day, we were doing the letter C. So she was teaching us that C is for cat. And so she drew cat on the board. And I think she, at this point, was asking us, if what that was. So me with my little 3-year-old brain now, take one look at this thing. And I guess she had drawn, how people draw a cat, like the number 8 with the little circle on top and a circle on the bottom and a little squiggly tail and then the triangle ears and your basic geometric cat, right? And I remember looking at it and very, confidently telling this lady that is not a cat. That's not how you draw a cat. Because I grew up in a household of artists. My father could draw, my brother could draw, my older sister could draw. And my older brother, who's 9 years older than me, was already teaching me how to draw. And I have very good artistic drawing skills. And even from then, I could really draw well. I wasn't your typical 3-year-old drawing stick figures, right? I was drawing properly formed people with hands and feet and features and all of that. And that was not how I was taught by my brother to draw a cat. And I promptly pointed out to this lady, that's not how you draw a cat. And I remember being reprimanded and not taking too kindly to the reprimand. So I think that was the beginning of things just going completely downhill. I think that was the moment when I decided to hatch my plan to escape from school. I don't remember getting there in the morning and deciding that I was going to run away. I think the decision was made sometime perhaps during break time, right? I think I kind of mapped out the place, and there was this man who managed the gate. He monitored the comings and the goings from the front gate, because obviously you don't want the children opening the gate and getting out. And I think I knew that there was a point at which he would possibly leave his post at the gate. And so during break time, I think I just kind of observed everything and then decided that, at lunchtime, I was gonna, bust a move. I remember telling a friend of mine, Jackie Sibley's, if you're watching, I think it was your sister. I think it was Trisha who I was, kind of coming up with this plan with. And I was looking for company actually to bust out of school. And so I was encouraging my friend to come with me because I think we both agreed that we didn't like it there. And she didn't want to get into trouble. So she was trying to convince me not to do it. I remember her trying to convince me not to do it, but I was determined. I did not like this place. I didn't like the environment. I didn't think they drew well. So I was going to leave. But what she did agree to do for me was she was going to be my lookout. She was going to watch and see if this gentleman was coming or anybody, so that when I was ready to make good my escape, I would be able to do so freely. So at lunchtime, I was, I packed up my bag, I packed up my lunch kit, and I was waiting for this gentleman to leave his post. Just before lunchtime finish, he left. This was a perfect time because he had left his post now. And I said, Trisha, I'm going to climb the gate and I'm going to go home. And neighbors, that is exactly what I did. My little 3-year-old legs climbed up over that gate with my bag and my lunch kit, and I jumped over that gate and I ran out of there. Now this school was about, I'm going to say, it could have been 3/4 of a mile to a mile from my home. It was a good distance away, right? And I'd only been going there for a few weeks. So here's the problem now. Me jump over a gate. I left. Could I remember my way back home? Because now this is the challenge. But I actually did. So I walked the way back that I would normally walk with my mommy in the mornings until I got to the main road. Now there's a major thoroughfare that we would have to cross every day to go to and from school. And I had managed to find my way out of school, right? Find my way through the different roads and the different turns. And believe me, if I were to try to find that school today, I don't think I could, because you have to, turn onto this street and then that street and then another street. If you know Portmore well, you know that it's full of turns. But I managed to find my way out until I got out onto Portmore Drive, which was a major thoroughfare. And so I reach out to Portmore Drive now, and there are cars going back and forth, and I need to get across the road. I remember my mom teaching me enough about the dangers of crossing the street on my own to know that it was not something that I wanted to undertake by myself. And I remember just crying. I remember standing on the side of the road crying because I did not know how to get over to the other side. But then I remember somebody coming, could have been a gentleman, I'm not sure, I don't really remember. Somebody coming and asking me if I needed to get across the road, seeing me there, this little 3-year-old crying. And I was saying, yes, I want to get home, but I don't know how to cross the street. And I remember the person taking me by my hand, this perfect stranger, and walking me across the road. And then I remember just happily skipping on my way because I knew for sure once I had crossed the road that it was just one more turn and down the road before I would get home. But when I got across the road and I turned onto my street, it hit me. But I'm supposed to be at school. What is my mother going to think? Seeing her child, her picnic, coming home. I was going to get into trouble. What was I doing? I think it was just the longest walk home, because at that point there's no turning back. I had to go home. And I remember starting to cry again because I was certain that I was in for a whooping when I got home. Not to mention my godfather lived across the street from me, and he was just I just saw him as the sternest, strictest person. What was he going to think? I eventually got home, and I don't remember much about how it happened that I got into the house. I just remember immediately when I got home, hiding out under the kitchen table. Yeah, after putting down my bag and lunch kit, I just crawled under the table in the kitchen where we would, eat breakfast and stuff, and I just stayed there. I remember as a child, I just used to just staying in that little spot. I guess it was kind of like my little safe space. And that's where I went. And I just remember being there and adult conversations happening over my head. And I remember hearing my mother's voice. And I remember feeling fearful because I was still worried that I was in trouble and that at some point I was going to be in for a whooping. eventually, my mother didn't send me back to that school. And the following year, I was enrolled in a government infant school. And, you know, I was looking for the picture, the passport size picture that I took for my registration. If I can find it, I'll show you guys. But I remember her telling me years later that she recognized I wasn't happy in this place and she decided not to send me back. I'm gonna insert a little memory from my mom here. But that whole scenario has shaped how I look at school. I've never liked school. That's a confession that I'll make right here, right now, a declaration. Even though I've always done fairly well in school, I've always managed to get by, I have never really enjoyed the formal education system. The formal school system just always seemed to be uncomfortable for me. And as a parent, I try to ensure that my children are comfortable in their space, which is why when the opportunity to do this whole classroom, as you can see, I'm in a classroom. I was in at basic school, looked nothing like this. It wasn't quite so pleasant. But I always try to make sure that the children are comfortable at school. And even Hannah, when she, went to prep school, it was something that I was always checking in with her. Are you comfortable? Are you okay? Are you happy? Because to me, that's very important. The content that children learn is important, but the school environment, the learning environment is also very important. And I have never been that great with the regular structure. And yeah, we're on this homeschooling journey right now, and yeah, we're gonna see how that works for the girls. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy that little story. I am gonna sign out here. That's it from Tina, from me and my host, and I'm gonna let you guys hear what my mom had to say in this clip. So take care, walk good, we love you guys, and we will see you again on Saturday. It will be the start of a new month. We've got lots in store for you guys. See you then. Wasn't it that, how am I get across the road? Because I remember coming across the road.
You can't cross the road.
A little boy?
Yeah.
Well, like how old?
About probably 8-year-old or 10-year-old.
Because I would have been like Leila and Zahra them age, no sir?
No. You're probably about 5.
5 I go basic school?
No. I don't remember how it go. But you were
it couldn't be 5 because at 5 I would have been at infant school, right?
The next year you went to infant school, so
Yes.
it's called about 4.
I somehow remember a big person crossing me across
No.
the road.
The little boy they carry you come right round at the shop. Him carry you come across and me I asked say, how you come home? How you come home? Because I think him carry you across the road and you must walk, you come down from the corner.
Right.
No, but I send you back because you don't like round here. I not even remember which part the house was.
I don't know. I went back there with Arna one time. I don't remember how we got there. It was weird.
Because you never loved that they sitting there.
No, sir. I mean, I tell Pastor the classroom did up on the veranda.
No, them did have one round the back.
But I think I was on the veranda. I was on the
Them did have
veranda.
a little back thing like. And where the classroom is. But probably after you got there, then them part of the classroom.
Yes, I was, and then
In fact,
but
some trees were around there and it kind of crowded.
I never did like it because it was it was dirt.
Dirt.
Yeah, it was just pure dirt. You never
I
like
just
it at all.
That just to give you the experience.
Yes.
You just go school.
Yeah.